Hey, I'm Kayla. Welcome back to my channel. You may or may not know what this is. It's been a while since you've seen it. This is my TBR jar, which has a bunch of prompts in here that I'm using to take on a no-buy TBR jar challenge. I'm doing this by reading the books I have around my house, going to the library, and reading books that I have using my Kindle Unlimited subscription. I wanted to come on today and give you a update because I finally finished another prompt and then I went to mark it off and I can't find it. Thankfully, I don't just keep one record of these prompts. I have my little reading journal here. So I have the prompt that I was missing that I finished up was for a book that was under 200 pages. And so I ended up finishing up Gruel Winter With You by Ali Hazelwood. And that is one of the Amazon short stories in the Under the Mistletoe collection. That one was only 50 some pages long, which was perfect for my challenge. I do know originally I mentioned I was going to read a poetry book for this prompt, but then life happened and I didn't get to the poetry book before I got to these short stories. And it's funny because this was a short, I keep saying it's a short story because it was, but the premise was so good, it would have been way better in a long form story. They did a lot of flashbacks that I didn't really love. It was their neighbors, they're in their childhood homes. Our female main character is friends with the male main character's older sister, and he has a crush on her. And so they go and they do these flashbacks of all these times where they have, like, he's showing he cares for her, and most of the story had to be told via a flashback, so it would have been really nice to get some of the payoff of reading through all those flashbacks. It just didn't work for a short story for me. I would have liked it in a long form, an actual novel. I think it would have just been better. The story that's happening in real time is they're both home for the holidays in their childhood homes. He is at his parents' house, but none of his family is there. And she's at home with her dad, and her dad asks her to walk to the neighbor's house to get a pan, and then she gets trapped there because of a snowstorm. These I guess I didn't also, I should have known what I was getting into with these short Amazon stories, what they're trying to do. They're trying to just give these little advertisements for romance novels, so they're trying to like stuff the whole thing in there without really any care. I just didn't like the way this one was rushed. So this is probably why I am more of a long form reader. Probably why this prompt was hard for me to do. Even the other Christmas novella that I have, I was just doing research on the Lauren Asher My December Darling book. That one's over, it's a novella, but it's over 200 pages. So it's actually harder to find one than I thought. And then my unfortunate TBR jar update for my second prompt is that I've been doing such a bad job of reading this book. And it's really just me. Yesterday I decided that I was going to implement my 10-page rule, which means every day I pick up this book and read at least 10 pages in hopes that I finish it. And that is the Shadow and Bone book by Leigh Bardugo. This is a first book in a trilogy. I'm reading this one to cover my book that was made into a TV show or movie prompt. I don't remember exactly how it was worded, but I probably have a picture of it somewhere. And this was the one I mentioned in my Christmas Advent calendar that I'm really bad at reading books with other people. My poor friend Hannah picked this book up because I said I was going to read it, and she's already finished the trilogy, and I can't get through the first book because I load myself down with too many things to read. So the 10-page rule is being implemented on this one. I'm only 50 pages in. I might be six. I think I'm, no, I'm literally 54 pages in or 64 pages in. So I need to do more work. And the only reason I'm so slow with this one right now is because I didn't get a chance to sit down and just churn through the introduction. I find that the first 30% of books are just hard for me, but once I get through that first 30, I'm like ready to go, especially when I've met all of our characters. I've really become acclimated to where our story is going to be. So that last 70% of a story is where I thrive, and I haven't gotten there. I think I'm 16% into Shadow and Bone. So I'm not holding any judgment for it. I just keep I keep trying to read it at a bad time. We'll get there. We will get there. I did decide I'm going to pick 2 prompts today because it's been a while since I've even opened the TBR jar. So let's do that. Okay. And then I said to myself earlier, I was like, I didn't put the prompts back, did I? So I guess I will know if I put the ones that I misplaced back, if I picked them. First of my 2 picks is... Whew. Oh gosh. Okay, wait. Actually, this one's gonna be okay. This one's gonna be okay. This is a book by multiple authors. And the reason I sighed was I have read so many books by Carolyn Peckham and Suzanne Valenti, the authors that wrote, their sisters that wrote the Zodiac Academy books. I read all of those. I read the Partner series. So I've read so many partner author books this year, but that's okay. That's okay. I have a Christina Lauren book on my shelf. I also have a book by 2 authors that I've never read before, Julie Murphy and someone else, in my Christmas Advent. All right, okay, so that's going to be good. After this video, I'm going to write the prompt in the book just in case I lose the little piece of paper. I guess I also now have film evidence to keep me in check. One last prompt grab. That wasn't too bad. I was a little nervous. I also didn't know if I would be able to come up with the books so quickly on camera. I think all of the other picks that I've picked before I had the camera rolling. So that's cool. One more. Ooh, this will be so easy. Okay, a romantasy book. The first book that comes to mind is The Trial of the Sun Queen, which was one of the books I had highlighted in my 10 Before the End video. The 4th and final book of that series came out last month, so I've given myself permission to finally read it. Ooh, it's either going to be that one or another book that I have in my Christmas book advent is the 2nd book in the Lightlark series. So to read that one, Nightbane, I have to read the first book, Lightlark. That I have on a Libby hold right now, so that would count towards my no buy because it would be borrowed from the library. Cool, cool, cool. And The Trial of the Sun Queen is on Kindle Unlimited. The Christmas book I have under my tree was a purchase from my partner, so I technically didn't buy it, and I'd already purchased the Christina Lauren book, so it doesn't count. That is me justifying my own arbitrary rules. Don't we love how that works? That'll do it for today. I will check back in once I've done some reading for some of these books, and I will let you know what I pick and if I ever find the other prompts that I misplaced. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a great day.